Welcome back, True Seeker. Very quickly, I'm going to reveal how we can prove that the Silicon Valley bank collapse, what they're saying is the second worst bank collapse in all time, was an orchestrated ritual. And again, if you're new here, we're going to talk about gematria, the Kabbalistic practice of coding numbers into words, because through learning this practice, you can see through so many shenanigans, from what happens in the market, to what happens with rigged elections, to sports games, to propaganda in the news. There was a code that comes from Kabbalah, which is known as gematria, which is the language of the Cabal. And very simply, notice how the bank collapse of Silicon Valley Bank began on March 9th, 39. While the company is 39 years old, it turned 39 October 17th, 2022. And today, when they stopped trading on the stock value had fallen to $39.27. If you're new here, the way you get that value of 39 for bank collapse is just by taking the alphabetic order. A is 1 up to Z is 26, 26-letter alphabet, and using numerology. So as you see, B is 2 because B is the second letter. A is 1 because A is the first letter. The reason N is 5 is because N is the 14th letter. The numerology of 14 is 1 plus 4 is 5. K, the 11th letter, becomes 1 plus 1 is 2. So you just take each letter, use its numerology, and then sum all the letters as numbers to get the value of 39. Now, gematria is based on the alphabetic order forwards and backwards, so this ritual did begin on 3/9, and it concluded today, March 10th, the 69th day of the year. If you run the alphabetic order in reverse with numerology, bank collapse is 69. Now, if you're new to my channel, I've been explaining who's doing this for a long time. The original bankers are the Knights Templar. The Templars are the old military order of the Catholic Church. The current military order of the Catholic Church is the Jesuit order, whose logo has the Templar cross right in the middle of it. We are in the time of the first Jesuit Pope, Pope Francis. I'm going to show you how this entire collapse is synced with the Pope, but a very special number to the Jesuits is 144. This company turned 39 years old on October 17th, Silicon Valley Bank. From October 17th to the collapse fully on March 10th was 144 days. Notice, Jesuit order equals 144, as does corporation, as does the United States of America. Now remember, the collapse began yesterday, which was the Pope's 83rd day of his age. Collapse is 83, which means today is 83 days after his birthday. You could also say today's his 84th day of his age. Jesuit equals 84, so does United States of America. Very special number, like George Orwell's 1984. For the record, modern Freemasonry is a Jesuit creation, and the word masonry also equates to 84 and 39, going with all the other 39s we talked about. Dow Jones equals 39, like New York. Anyhow, these are perfectly orchestrated rituals. Go back to the 16th century, the century the Jesuits were created. It's the same century English was standardized with the 26-letter alphabet. The Gregorian calendar came out, named after the Pope. Again, these people have been controlling society in all these chaotic events. There are people who lose and there are people who benefit, and the people who benefit are the people who are in the know and the people who are in position to benefit, like the J.P. Morgan Chases of the world who are part of this cabal. Notice J.P. Morgan Chase had a very good day in the stock market today, and just like the last time banks fell, J.P. Morgan Chase came through, being the big shark, and ate up the smaller fishes and became all the more powerful. There's a reason for these rituals. This is how the big get bigger, and it's how, the little guy loses out. Just like during COVID, the government shut down mom and pop stores, and Amazon, Walmart, Costco, their market share grew by a lot. There's a reason all of these rituals are performed by the code, and if you guys weren't here, again, we were calling out why 2020 was going to be a really rough year for the world way before COVID came around. And if you haven't read my book, Letters and Numbers, again, I wrote that book at the very beginning of the pandemic, why all the lockdowns and mandates, why all of that would end as soon as the year of the tiger came around, exactly when it did. This is the knowledge to see through what's going on. And for all the people who weren't in the know, I said expect the Black Swan event this March. And we've been talking about 83 all year, when the Buffalo Bill, Damar Hamlin, had the staged collapse with his birthday on the 83rd day of the year. And if you don't know, SV Silicon Valley Bank, They put out the big clue on the 8th day of the 3rd month that things were awry with what they offered to their shareholders, why they were selling off assets and a chance for other people to buy in at a good rate. That was the red flag that created the chaos the next day. So, again, learn the knowledge, see through the rituals, and again, you'll realize this stuff's no coincidence. Remember when NASCAR banned the Confederate flag and the autonomous zone was the big news story, and then the very next day the market fell by 1,861 points, which is the year the Civil War began, and an autonomous zone was created in the U.S.? Again, you guys, the reason they can control the market as well as they do is because only a few people control the majority of wealth in the market. The rest of the millions of people who bank on it for their retirement plans and their 401ks, they make up a small percentage of the holdings. It's a very small group of people who control almost all the wealth in the market, and that's what people need to wake up to. Don't forget the Catholic Church also has its own central bank. That's why they control crypto and Bitcoin, and we've been proving that stuff for years. And realize this whole fallout with Silvergate and Silicon Valley Bank, it's all connected to crypto. And again, you got them saying that we need to regulate the crypto market so things like this can't happen. But anyhow, what a perfect ritual. On 3/9, the bank collapse begins of the 39-year-old company where trading on the stock is paused at $39. Where's bank collapse on the 10th of March, the 69th day of the year? And for all you guys who love Joe Biden, go back and look into the Transition Integrity Project 144 days before the election, simulated at Jesuit Georgetown, where President Biden equals 144, and in the election it was simulated that he would win, and Trump would refuse to step down, which would lead to deadly chaos in America. Hello, January 6th. Till next time, Truth Seeker.